In the previous video, we talked about how not to get to know your employees, how not to learn how they truly feel, what they are truly thinking and wanting and desiring. And in this video, I'll be coaching you an effective method to get to learn your employees, to figure out their true desires, their true wants. And I call this method the secret power of casual conversation. The secret power of casual conversation. All right. So here's a scenario to illustrate my method. Let's say I'm a brand new manager. I got hired from outside the company. On Monday, I come to work. I shake hands to meet everyone. Tuesday, I come to work and I park my car at 8:45. I'm 15 minutes early. And a car pulls over and parks 2 spaces down. And I hear the sound. I go, hey, that sounds like a car I used to own. So I turn around, I look. Sure enough, it's a Subaru. It's blue. It's got gold rims. All right. And then the driver's door open. And then stepping out is one of my employees, Scott. So I say, hey, don't remind me. It's Scott, right? And he looks, and then he turns, he looks, and he says, oh yeah, good memory. Yeah, it's our new boss, Michael. Good morning. How are you? And then I look at his car. I go, Subaru, is that a WRX? Have you got turbo? Yeah, it looks like you got a stick shift going on in there. And why out-of-state license tag? And Scott started talking about his car. He says, oh yeah, this is a Subaru WRX. It's got turbo, I got all-wheel drive, it's a stick shift. And I bought this car as soon as I graduated from college, got my first job as an engineer. I was able to qualify for a car loan, and this is the car I've always wanted. And so I bought it. And I'm 6 months from paying this car off. I love this car. It's got turbo, stick shift, all-wheel drive. Man, and I used to do donuts in the snow in this thing. I love it. And as a matter of fact, doing donuts in the snow outside the apartment was how I met my wife. And we just moved back here because she's having twins and she wants to be closer to her parents when the twins come. And I'm very excited. I'm going to be a daddy of 2 kids. And my wife and I, we're shopping for baby seats, car seats to put in this car. And then my wife said something about this car might be too small for 2 baby seats. And besides, she's not a big fan of driving a stick shift. So just the other day, she mentioned something called a minivan. And I think I'm too young to be seeing in a minivan. All right. So that was a quick 15-20 second conversation, all right? And then we walked into the office. During that 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, did I make Scott feel like I was interrogating him? I was a tyrant? Or did I make him feel like I'm someone who is down to earth, I'm personable, I'm relatable, and I talk about what appears to be nothing? What appears to be nothing. But what did they teach you? I don't know if you studied computer science, information technology, maybe law enforcement, all right? Maybe you into military history or history. What did they tell you about gathering raw data? From raw data, I mean RAW, raw data. From raw data, you gather information. And from information, you gather military intelligence, yeah? So Scott, he told me a whole bunch of stuff, right? Those are raw data. And from those raw data, gather a whole bunch of information. I basically figured out his domestic situation. And then I figured out that dude has got some financial responsibilities. With a wife being 7, 8 months pregnant, okay, and 2 kids coming up, Scott is going to have 4 hungry mouths to feed. Diapers to buy, right, formulas to buy, rent or mortgage to pay, and I'm 99.99% sure he has another car payment coming up. Because, let's face it, she said so, okay? So, hey, I'll be an evil person. I'll be secretly wishing, hey, Scott, go ahead, get a Toyota Sienna all-wheel drive, load it up, brand new, $50,000, and start making that car payment all over again. So, with all these financial responsibilities, all right, let's say there's weekend overtime coming up. Who do you think is highly likely to be standing in front of me and insisting, hey, boss, that weekend overtime, give it to me, no one else, I want it? Scott, because he needs the money. That's what makes him tick for now. As opposed to, I go to the great-grandpa and say, hey, great-grandpa, weekend overtime coming up, all right? Make sure you come here Saturday and Sunday both. Great-grandpa is going to respond to me with, young Michael, I don't think so. This coming weekend, I'm taking my great-grandchildren, all 10 of them, to the baseball game, to the county fair, to the zoo, or what have you. This weekend overtime, sorry, I am not coming. What? You gonna fire me? Yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, no, don't feel bad about it. I was gonna quit anyway. It's just a part-time job. You keep me busy. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right, have a nice weekend. So this is how you find out what makes them tick, what drives them, right? Through casual conversation, not through direct interrogation. And also, in addition to finding out that Scott has some financial responsibilities. He also mentioned that he likes to do donuts and he doesn't want to be seen in a minivan. So I should make a mental note, and I want to investigate further if he is an adrenaline junkie or if he's into image. If he is an adrenaline junkie, I need to figure out how can I utilize that to create win-win situations. If he is into image, how can I utilize that to create win-win situations? Win-win for everybody. Him, me, the team, the company, customers, everybody. All right. Now, here's the concept. The concept is called utilization. The concept is it's not what I have or what I don't have, what resource I have or what resource I lack. It's rather based on what I have or what I don't have, based on the situation here, how can I put what I have here? How can I utilize what I have here? It doesn't matter what just happened or what just didn't happen. How can I utilize to create win-win situations for everybody? So let's say if Scott is an adrenaline junkie, how can I utilize that to create win-win situations? You know, some people, some employees, they perform the best when they are stressed out, when situation is tough, when there are 200 customers all lined up waiting to be served, when they need to serve 3 customers at the same time. And then when there's nothing to be done, they get bored. They sit there and they go, there's not much going on around here. I got nothing to do around here. And then there are the opposite personality types. And their thing is, if there are too many customers, if you put a gun to their head, if they're under the gun, they go, I can't deal with this. This is too much and too chaotic. I can't deal with this. I can't perform under these kind of conditions. But then, when there's not much going on, they do their best work. It's one foot after another, one solid step after another. And they build this, and they build that, they fix this, and they fix that. They are the best. So, you need to figure out what personality type and what personality trait each and every one of your employees are, and then how do you utilize that for the situation. And also, is Scott into image? He did say he doesn't want to be viewed in a minivan, right? Now, doesn't want to be viewed in a minivan, into image. That can be good or can be bad. Let's say if he is into image, right? Can we utilize that? Yes, we can. For example, let's say if Scott is kind of being challenged just a little bit, and he's not sure that he wants to take on this challenge. He's not sure that he can overcome this challenge. So maybe I can utilize the fact that he's into image, and then drop some hints. Maybe I can say things like, oh, is that the Scott that has a reputation around here? The Scott who always solve problems? The Scott who doesn't give up? Or it is a new Scott who is always giving up, always talking about, oh, that's another challenge we don't need, that's another challenge I don't need. Which Scott is this? What are we? Is Scott the kind of person who will take on a challenge and solve problems and overcome? Or is Scott the kind of guy who's really good at giving up? Utilize that to create win-win situations. All right. So that's what we call the secret power of casual conversation. You utilize this technique to learn about your employees. Let's face it. So much of what drives good performance, a lack of good performance, is because of what's going on in their lives, back at home, their domestic situations. And HR law actually forbids you from interrogate. But you can always set up a situation whereby they'll volunteer and tell you all about this. Now, one more thing. This, what I call secret power of casual conversation, this is definitely not when you first met them. This should be an ongoing thing. Let's say if you manage 10 people and you spend 5 minutes per week per employee on just what appears to be casual conversation. That's only 50 minutes, not even an hour a week. And this is going to be great investment on your time, because you learn so much about what's going on in their heads and in their hearts, and what's going to drive them for good performance, a lack of good performance. On Monday, you could ask them, hey, how was your weekend? If you see some picture on their desk, if you see some statue on their desk, some trophy on their desk, ask them about it. On Friday, you can ask them, what are you doing this weekend? Okay? You never know. On Friday, they may say, oh, hey, boss, funny you should ask. Actually, my mother-in-law is coming to visit us. Do you have any overtime by any chance? I'd rather not be home. And on Monday, they might tell you, oh, I put a sprinkler in the garden, I took my dog, I took my kids to the baseball game. Now, you, the manager, you may know nothing about gardening. You may know nothing about putting in a sprinkler system. You may know nothing about baseball. Hey, myself, I've been to one baseball game when I was living in Nebraska. Actually, the game was in Iowa. You know what I learned? I learned baseball is all about eating peanuts. So anyway, you can just come on and say, hey, I know nothing about sprinkler, garden, baseball, but do tell me. Now, let me ask you this. What is everybody's favorite topic to talk about? Their favorite topic is themselves. Everybody wants to talk and tell other people about themselves. It makes them feel good. Now, you can make them feel even better if you got them to feel nobody wants to hear my stories. Nobody cares about what's going on in my life except my boss. They love you. They love you if you give them a year. And if you give them a year for 5 minutes per week per employee. Now, what if halfway through the conversation and you get interrupted? What if there's a company policy that says not too much chit-chat in the office? Utilize all of those to your advantage. For example, he's telling you about the baseball or the sprinkler or whatever, and then somebody tap on the shoulder and say, hey boss, the factory is on fire. Come and put out the fire. So you gotta run, all right? If you just run away, you probably make them feel not too good because they're halfway telling you their story. Now, let me ask you this. When they put a classic film on TV, when they put a good TV show on TV, where in the plot line do they cut for a commercial? At the cliffhanger, right? At the suspense, right? Right. And the same principle applies both ways. Be it they are the audience, right? Watching a movie, listening to a story, or they are telling a story of their own lives. If they are not professional storytellers. See, I'm a professional storyteller, so this may or may not apply to me. But if your employees, they are not professional storytellers, and they're telling you a story about the weekend, and then just before they're about to give you the punchline, somebody tap you on the shoulder and say, hey boss, the factory's on fire. Run. You run away. They really, really want to finish the story. So before you run away, just say to them, I gotta run, but I do want to hear what happens to the sprinkler, the dog, the baseball, all right? So do tell me next time. I gotta run now. 2 days later, you see them at the water cooler, all right? You were not thirsty, but you just decided to become thirsty. So you cozy up to the water cooler and say, hey, Scott, yeah, what happened to the, you were telling me about it 2 days ago? Oh man, that makes them feel so good. They love you, all right? So you give them 30 seconds or maybe 3 minutes to finish up that story. Oh man, you just earned so many brownie points. They love you. And then, not only they love you, you are also gathering raw data, information, and military intelligence. So even though I call this the secret power of casual conversation, there's nothing casual about it from your point of view. You planned the whole thing. You plotted out the whole thing. You made it perfectly casual to them. But to you, there's nothing casual about it. It's just work. You know what you are? You have just become James Bond, 007, licensed to conduct casual conversation, to pump the information. All right. So that's about it. Wrapping up this coaching call. So don't interrogate your employees. Instead, use the secret power of casual conversation. Use the secret power of casual conversation. And let your employee voluntarily tell you everything you need to know on how to manage them, how to lead them, by knowing what they want, what they don't want. All right. So if you need coaching, just send me an email. If you need coaching, do not hesitate to send me an email. I love helping people. I love coaching managers and leaders and business leaders and business owners. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also hit the like button. Also, share these videos with all your family, good friends, good colleagues, anyone that you're growing together, learning together, developing together, helping each other together. Because let's face it, do you think your life will get easier if you are the only person improving and nobody else around you is also improving? No. Life gets more and more difficult, more and more complicated, more and more challenging if you are the only person improving and everybody around you is not improving. They just start to drag you down, right? You want to help everyone. You help them and they help you. And this is why you want to share these videos with as many people as possible and tell them to also subscribe and also make sure everybody hit the notification button. So this way, every time I release a brand new coaching video, you guys will be notified and you will be the first batch to start learning and get ahead of the competition. All right. So until next time, keep on learning. Coach Michael Lin, signing out.